Hey everybody, April 20th, and did some fun things this week. A little bit of a wrap up here for you. First of all, in the intermediate course, what did we do? We did the E, A, and E narrow vowel sound and the Naenae vowel sound. And then what are those about? First of all, E, A, and A is a continuation of you starting to challenge your bridges a little bit, starting with the E, which is a narrow sound, going into the A, into an A, maintaining this narrowness at this point in time. So you're working from one shape to another and challenging your bridges a little bit. The other thing that's important is that the Naenae sound is a well-used exercise for years and years and years by many to just get that little bit of better chord compression, get into your nasal resonator, take some of the heft away from the vocal cord, thin out your chords, starting to understand how to do that, and again, over the head voiced area. We are building through the head voice, and we are getting very close to being done with the head voice exercises in the intermediate course. So that means that we will be heading to mix next, which is a very cool thing. Now on the listen and recognize, we started a new adventure now. No longer are we just working on single notes and learning the roots, but now you are starting to internalize two notes, and those two notes are major and minor thirds. And those thirds are super important for you to listen to, and the reason why is because getting an ear for thirds and getting the ear for the movement of thirds moving around is starting to accomplish your ability to hear the quality of chords, even though we're not calling them chords yet. We're just calling them major and minor thirds. But major thirds in general are a gigantic building block of how chords are structured. You know, root, third, fifth, seventh, ninth, they're all thirds apart from each other. Getting an ear for thirds will help you vocalize better when it comes to being a harmony singer. Getting an ear for thirds will help you hear the quality for major and minor chords. Getting an ear for thirds as it moves around will help you hear how chords are moving around within the song. Nothing but good positive stuff. Stay at it. Stay at the Listen and Recognize course and really keep working with it. That's important. Another point I'd like to make, because of spending so much time talking about the courses right now, and they're important, but make sure that you're still looking at lessons and looking at the breakdowns of lessons, because how we apply these exercises into the actual song so you can get the knowledge of how you troubleshoot a song and things that you need to do or why you're learning these exercises so they're applied and applicated straight towards actual tunes is important. And every once in a while, you know, I think it's kind of fun to point something out. Now, I've got a lesson that I think is really important for you to take a look at. And it doesn't matter if you're male or female. I want you to check this lesson out if you haven't. It's a Johnny Reason lesson, and the tune is called This I Promise. Now, I want you to get into the breakdown of that, and you'll see the first section of This I Promise, and the breakdown explains the difference, or shows and demonstrates the difference between a light mix and a strong mix. There's a great example in the breakdown of this song about how things are being mixed and how the mix works. So instead of just thinking about the mix within the vocal exercises, which is important for you to build yourself in the vocal exercises, go take a look at a lesson like this and see how a strong mix and how a lighter mix can be applied to the actual song. Then it'll start to click to you and even inspire you more to do the exercises as you start to see what it is that you could do within the songs. This is an R&B song. Light to strong mix is a very important aspect of what it is that you're doing in relationship to this style of singing. I always like to point out the fact that different people and different styles of music use different levels of mix, meaning light mix, balance mix, strong mix. Musical theater people, when they're really going for it, usually have to have a pretty strong mix. Whitney Houston had a very, very strong mix in her first album, maybe to a point where it was a little heavy and she had to back off from it by the second album. But there's some great things that happened in that first album that's all about strong mix that Whitney Houston was great at doing. So even listening to other artists, once you understand this, will help you grow, and the more you understand as the other artists are doing it, the more you think of it as actually something that you can apply and do. So anyway, again, this I promise. Doesn't matter if you're male or female, just listen to Johnny and my explanation about how he's going from light mix to strong mix, and there's some great examples in there. Just take a look at that. Another thing I'd like to point out is that you actually can recommend a song, and I will turn that song into a lesson. So you can actually recommend a lesson, something that you'd really like to learn or something that you're curious about. You can ask it as a question on the forum, but you can also go to the recommend a lesson, and that's how you do it. You go to the recommend a lesson button, you hit it at the top of the site, and we check those out, and periodically we will structure lessons depending upon which is the most popular there. If also you may come up with something obscure that we didn't even think about that could be a great lesson for everybody to learn. So take a look at that, and I think that sort of wraps us up for this week. I'll see you guys next week, and as always, keep singing.